Hello, Ferndale. Councilmember Mutchler here, and your council and your mayor are this close to pulling the trigger on a rather ambitious project. The design and construction of a 20,760 square foot civic campus, which would replace both the current City Hall, located across the street from 7-Eleven, and our council chambers courthouse, also called the City Annex. All this to address overcrowding concerns at City Hall, a challenge common with the private sector and not unique to government. The total cost of the new campus, which will be located adjacent to the current City Hall, between $15 and $20 million, according to the city architects. A quick bit of math will tell us that pencils out to about $960 a square foot. The plan of this administration is that upon completion of the campus, the current City Hall, a safe, solid, and functional building, will be turned over to a half dozen or more of the community's vital nonprofit service organizations. So I hope that this video helps the community in that conversation, noting that the council is nearing a final determination and should hear from you. 7 council members and Mayor Hansel will decide its fate probably in mid-July. What are your thoughts? What would be your remedy to a crowded City Hall and a dated courthouse? Feel free to share this post and comment below, but please keep it courteous. Everybody that's involved with this wants what's best for our essential employees and for our city, which has posted really helpful information about this project on the city's website. All you have to do is search Ferndale Civic Campus Project and you'll trip right over it. So Mutchler, what's your take? You've been here for a while. While acknowledging some overcrowding at City Hall and court safety concerns, I do not believe a project of this size in our age of Zoom, remote meetings, working from home is warranted to meet the office and court needs of our dedicated professional staff. And there are many better uses of the taxpayer's dime, although a third or more of this project will probably be paid for by state and federal grants. The rest of it will be financed and paid for by you and me, the citizens of Ferndale, through various tax sources over the lifetime, perhaps 15 or 20 years, of the debt. A brief review of Ferndale's major tax sources are: number 1, sales tax. Ferndale has seen a robust growth in sales tax for several reasons, and one of them is a change of shopping habits as people shop from home and have things delivered to us. We might call that the COVID effect or the Amazon effect, but it has brought a meaningful increase of our sales tax revenues. Number 2 is utility taxes. Every single utility that you have is taxed at least 6%. That's natural gas, that's electricity, that's phone, that's internet, that's TV. But some utilities are taxed more. 2 stand out. Number 1 is our water sewer bill. If you look carefully on your bill, you will see that the city of Ferndale applies a 9% sales tax to your water bill. Further, if you take garbage out to Slater, to one of the 2 one of the 2 solid waste stations out there, you might call that the dump. That's where the garbage goes. There is now wait for it, 14.5% tax on that garbage. You can find that on your bill when you take it out to Slater Road to get rid of your garbage. Those are meaningful, significant revenues to the city of Ferndale that fund all sorts of stuff and will help fund this new city campus. Number 3, and finally, property taxes. And you might recall that in 2019, the city approved a 42% increase in Ferndale property taxes, which took effect in 2020 and is now baked into the system. Those revenues take care of city expenses and will also be used to pay for a new civic campus. So what's the point? Though it is possible one can argue we may not have to raise taxes today, those taxes have already been raised. It's baked into the system, and those dollars that they're used for a city campus debt service are not available for future needs like future police officers, streets, sidewalks, and parks, and things like that. And at that point, when those dollars aren't available because they're paying down the debt on the city campus, we may have to raise taxes. In extolling the project and its value to the community, the administration recently said that a campus like this would perform, and I quote, in many ways as the public living room of the city. I'm not too sure about that, but I am familiar with City Hall citizen traffic or lack of. And frankly, on certain days, my home living room may be busier than City Hall. City Hall is a needed gathering place for staff, government boards and commissions, politicians, but not the community. Not sure? Ask yourself, when was the last time you needed to go to City Hall for any kind of business? When was the last time you were in City Hall? Thankfully, City Hall is not the center of our lives and never will be. So the best and most affordable remedy to overcrowding at City Hall is to add the required space to the existing building with money we already have, generating no debt and completing the work in 18 months at 1/5 of the cost. And regarding the space and safety needs of our court, I will note that the city just spent $800,000 in 2021 to upgrade the current courthouse, which meets for trial 1/2 day a week on Fridays, and it is unclear to me why that facility could not continue its use as a municipal court like it has been by adding a jury box, adding additional safety features, attorney rooms, by using the entire building and property that the city already owns there. Remember, folks, this is a municipal court of limited jurisdiction, dealing mostly with misdemeanors, gross misdemeanors, infractions like traffic tickets, not felonies, assaults, or violent crimes. Yes, we need to protect judges, victims, attorneys, witnesses, defendants, and juries when we occasionally have a jury trial, maybe once or twice a year, but we can do that at the current site. However, I am just one voice and one vote, and if this council is set on a new courthouse, then build just that, a court alone, add the required space needed onto the City Hall building, and then upon completion, turn over the court, freshly updated, to our community service groups. Those are my thoughts and mine alone, and not necessarily those of any other public official. A beautiful new City Hall on Main Street is compelling, appealing, and would be a genuine source of civic pride. I can picture it and nearly salivate. I really can. But that's not a good enough reason to build something that's not an essential need for Ferndale. I have great difficulty spending between $15 and $20 million of your money, whether it's federal, state, or Ferndale dollars, on a civic campus when we can modify what we have and continue to serve our community well. So generously expand this City Hall, provide safety features to the current court so we aren't wasting $800,000 that we just invested in it, or at the most, build a new court, expand the current City Hall, and then when completed, turn the current courthouse over to our valued nonprofit service organizations. Remember, Ferndale has a great history of restoring and repurposing existing buildings. Our current City Hall was once Whatcom State Bank. Our community gathering area called Pioneer Pavilion was formerly a burnt-out roller rink and Boys and Girls Club. The current court was the first fire station, and our police station, the envy of many local law enforcement agencies, was previously our library. Retaining and repurposing buildings and avoiding new saves money, reduces waste, and lessens our carbon footprint. Thank you for watching and listening. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or our mayor or our city council, and have a great week.